We're just 2 weeks away from embarking on our big Alaska camping road trip, and we're getting prepared to take our bikes with us. In this video, we'll show you how we store and mount our bikes on the truck and hopefully convince ourselves and you that it's a good idea to have bikes on a big camping road trip. We're Mike and Fiona, a newly retired expat British couple living in Virginia. We're on a mission to visit all 63 of the USA's national parks.
Welcome back to the next episode of our preparation for our journey to Alaska.
One of the things that we learned on our Florida trip in January, February, was that we should take our bicycles with us to Alaska. And in this video, we're going to try and show you why bikes are a great idea and a great addition to your camping trip, and how you can make that happen.
So in the past, we've both enjoyed casual cycling, but we're not cycling aficionados.
Yeah, in the UK, we have an acronym for those weekend warriors. We call them MAMMOths, middle-aged men in Lycra. And while I would probably qualify for the middle-aged bit, we don't put on the Lycra and go aggressively cycling on roads or mountains.
So on our previous vacations, we've often rented bikes. We've rented e-bikes, regular bikes. We've been on city getaways where we've been part of a tour. Around Amsterdam, we're on a bicycle trip. And it's great. You can get around the places fast. And it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. And a great mode of transport in some places, like Key West. We rent a bike the whole week we're in Key West, and we've done it many times. And we don't need a car at all. We just cycle everywhere, anywhere on the island. But we use them to take part in tours as well, food tours or city tours, historical tours. And sometimes we're renting bicycles, just regular bicycles, sometimes e-bikes. Sometimes we'll just rent a scooter or a city bike off Lime or whatever service they have in that city.
I think I remember that one of the ways to get into Zion National Park is on an e-bike. Otherwise, you've got to go in on a tour bus. And so the e-bike is a great way to get around Zion National Park. While we were in Florida, as we were getting prepped for our big road trip to Alaska, we could have had bicycles there and it would have made some of our expeditions a bit more fun. So we decided we should have 2 bikes with us, and we can use them to get around the campgrounds, cruise out for dinner, maybe explore the town or the city that we find ourselves in. And this is when we're on our way to Alaska and in Alaska. So I already had a bike. I had a couple of bikes actually. And so we decided we were going to set about getting Michael a suitable bike, one that was tall enough, because he's a tall person and you need to get the right height.
Inexpensive, of course. Because I'm cheap.
And we had to obviously get a rack for the truck. So our bicycle requirements, we don't go for the high end. We just need a bike that's going to get us from A to B in a safe manner.
Yeah, and suitable for road cycling and pavement cycling, or maybe gravel cycling. We don't need anything that's going up any serious mountains or down any serious mountains. So we picked up a low-end, appropriately sized Trek Shift for me on Facebook Marketplace. It was just $80, and a bike rack for $40 from Facebook Marketplace. So let's go and let's go and get the bikes, and we'll put them on the rack and we'll show you how to make it happen. We do live in a condo in Newport News, Virginia, and storage space is scarce, but we have been assigned a rack in the trash room for our bikes on our floor. So here we are walking along our outside corridor towards the trash room. I'll just speed this up, and our 2 bikes are locked together and on a rack in the trash room here. as you'll see. Then Fiona squeezes in and unlocks the padlock, and then we can get our bikes out and walk them down back along the outside corridor and into the elevator and then out to the front or back of the building. We're assigned one numbered covered parking space as part of our condo agreement, and then we have other spaces that we can pick that are uncovered and unnumbered, and I normally pick this one on the right here for my red Tundra. So in the next sequence we're going to show you how we attach the rack for the bikes. It's a dual rack and mounts to the hitch. This $40 dual bike cycle rack came with a locking hitch pin and also a anti-rattle plate, which works great but is a bit of a nuisance. You have to do it up, and I typically use an adjustable wrench to just tighten a plate down onto the hitch so that it holds the bikes steady. We've put the center post up and the bikes are going on now. First mine, we found that works out best, and then we put on Fiona's on the outside. The rack comes with various straps, but we also have some additional ones that we do up, and we lock the bikes together for security also. Well, the bikes are on the back and we're taking them for a little spin down to one of our favourite spots, the Lions Bridge in Newport News, famous for wildlife photography. The ospreys come there to feed on the shad, but we're going to go for a little bike ride and maybe do some drone footage of our cycle ride.
So currently we live in Newport News. Newport News is famous for shipbuilding.
So it's just a short journey to the Mariners Museum and the Lions Bridge. We can park down at the Lions Bridge and then have a cycle around the museum grounds, which includes the Mariners Lake and the Northern Trail, which is about 5 or 6 mile walking trail around the lake.
That's only suitable for walking though. It's not suitable for going on your bicycle. We'll be staying on the road that goes around from the museum, across the Lions Bridge and into the lower part of Newport News.
Good to see the bikes are still in position on the back.
That is always a worry.
Yeah, so we're actually on the museum grounds now, and we're just going to drive through Museum Road down to the Lions Bridge.
So here we are. You can see the James River Bridge in the distance and the James River.
Oh, and there's the lions for which the Lions Bridge is named after. Looks like we've just got one space that we could sneak into.
And that is the Mariners Lake.
All right, here's Fiona taking the bikes off the rack. They're easier to get off than they are to put on. We did put the drone up that day, and it actually worked rather well. It tracked us as we cycled along. Unfortunately, there was some user error and I failed to hit the record button, so we didn't get any footage of us cycling along together on the Lions Bridge. But we decided to just get some footage with the Insta360 camera of us cycling around our neighbourhood. Here we are on our community square in Newport News, and these are our two bikes. So let's move over to Fiona and let her describe her bike.
So this is the Viribus. I upgraded. I had a foldable bike the first time before we got the rack, but I wanted a bike that was taller, bigger wheels, and with disc brakes. If you just have the regular brakes, they're always moving around and stopping you from going more easily. I did get a new saddle for comfort, and I have raised the handlebars. We did break the gear indicator in a freak accident on the highway, but the gears still work.
Very good. And mine's also a simple, in my case, a Trek 21-inch framed hybrid bike with 2-inch wheels, 7-speed. And I also have a very comfortable saddle and a very upright riding position, and I've added a phone carrier so I can follow directions while we're knocking around when we're on our big camping road trip. Okay, so let's go for a ride around our neighbourhood. I've mounted the Insta360 camera onto my bike. This camera takes, as the name suggests, a full 360 perspective, and I can select in editing which part of that 360 degree capture I show in my clip. You can see our neighbourhood here. This is our community square with the bandstand in the middle and the main road through the community is on the left. We have restaurants around the community square and other shops, coffee shops, art stores. Our condo building is here in front and on our right as we cycle down Walt Whitman Avenue, and on the left is a assisted living community. We have numerous statues in prominent spots throughout the community and multiple small squares in addition to the main community square. Anyway, here we are cycling through our community. I'll let you follow along to the music. We just have 2 weeks to go before we set off on our big Alaska camping road trip. Next week we're going to talk about planning and budgeting, But do like and subscribe this video so that you can follow us as we prepare for our trip, and of course when we start our big adventure.